Hi, creative friends. This is Soraya, and thank you so much for being here. So I allowed this to completely dry. Well, not the oil pastels, of course, but everything else. And I'm just gonna look through my viewfinder, and I'm absolutely loving this area over here. And I mean, there's a lot going on that I'm really just in love with. I mean, all these little seams from the tea bag, and I mean, just the contrast of the very earthy color of the tea bag against the blue. There's just so much to love about this entire situation. Now, the great thing about working in a book just to experiment, like this is my kind of trying out new things book, um, is that this is the sole purpose of this book. So I feel totally free and confident to just try anything and just see where it goes because I'm really just learning. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put a tea bag over top of this area right here. Now this is acrylic paint, but I did put oil pastels in the middle of this sun, and I also put some blue oil pastels around or just around the sun. So I think I'm gonna cut the tea bag, and that's another great thing about using a tea bag is it's very pliable, and so it's very easy to cut. And I think I'm just going to place it like so and just see, what does it do? Is it going to seal it? Um, and obviously, I'm going to have to wait for it to completely dry. And I'm also going to apply tea bags over other parts of the spread that has oil pastels, like the dress. So I've got to be careful here. I'm just going to kind of be careful over the oil pastel, but obviously that is all dry. And just let's see what happens. And let me place it like this. And so this is how I apply, this is how I apply my tea bags. I put the Mod Podge on the surface, and then I place my tea bag, and then I apply Mod Podge over top of it to seal it again. And I did apply oil pastel over there as well, so I'm gonna do the same thing. And just gonna go like so. And maybe and I will continue working on the rest of the spread and just kind of leave this alone for now. So I did apply oil pastel over here as well, but I'm not going to cover that up because this is like my experimental book. So I'm just going to kind of see, what happens. And depending on what happens with this particular spread, I might, want to do something different on this side over here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on the face here. And I'm just going to put some inks on the face here. And now I did put a tea bag over here, so I'm also going to add some inks on here as well. And just mix it with a little bit of my chalk paint. And see, I can apply the ink over top of the tea bag, even though it is wet. I can do that. I'm just doing it gently because I don't want to tear it. And until the glue dries, it is the wetness does make the tea bag a little more fragile. I mean, it's fragile to begin with, but the wetness just makes it that much more fragile until it dries with the glue, because the glue is going to harden it. So I'm very, very gently like applying it there. And I'm just going to work kind of fast here, because I don't want it to be like too labored. I just wanted to have kind of some movement. But like I said, this is just my, experimental book. So you guys, I really urge you to just pick up a cheap composition notebook, and just one or two. They're like $1. And simply just use it for all your experiments. It's so freeing. And then later on, you can always use the pages for your collage. So it's like a win-win. Or you can just keep them, and you can journal over top of them and then use them for your collage. Or, you could learn on the pages, and then later on you could convert it into a an art journal. So, the possibilities are endless. So this is going to be a short video because I am going to let this completely dry over here, the tea bags. And I think I'm just going to add some lines, and I'm going right over top of the tea bags here. And I think I'm just going to wait for things to dry. So you guys, I'm sorry this is probably a shorter video, but I do want to let everything dry. So if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. I am so excited to see what happens with this whole, is it going to seal the oil pastels, et cetera, et cetera. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.